Okay, recording is in progress right now. So welcome everyone to the Lorain County Mobility Management Transportation Advisory Committee meeting that we lovingly call TAC meeting. This is our quarterly meeting that we have to update you on what is happening regarding transportation in Lorain County. Glad all of you can join us. I think we have a wonderful program today with a lot of great information that's really focused on workforce transportation, but we're also going to be updating you on what's happening with mobility management and what mobility management is all about. One of the ways in which I like to get started, first of all, is by getting everyone engaged. So if you could pull out your phones or make your screen a little smaller. We're going to go to a program called Menti. So let me get my screen up and going again so you can see what is going on. Here. All right, so before we go to the Menti, what I'd like to first do is just kind of go over what the agenda is going to be for today. We're going to do the icebreaker, the Menti questions. So we're going to do that first. And then we're going to hear from NOACA on the Gohio Commute program. And then we're going to hear from, ooh, if you could mute yourself, that would be great. Then we're going to hear from EndenRed on Commuter Benefits. We're going to talk about what mobility management is all about, go over the Lorain County Mobility Management goals, how you can be involved. And then if you have any announcements that you want to make, that would be great. We would love to hear from all of you. If you want to, in the chat box, if you could introduce yourself with your name, your title, where you're from, and your contact information, that would be great. We just don't have enough time to share everybody's information live here because we want to get to the presenters today. So next, we want you to go to menti.com, MENTI.com. If you could go there and put in the code 43217438. And let me get that screen up myself. And then we're going to participate in a little survey. We just like to get people engaged right at the beginning.
Sharon, can you go back real quick? I didn't write down the code.
Oh, it is 43217438. It will be at the top of the screen too when I share it. Let me try to share that screen. So you can see it. Are you seeing the new, the Lorain County Mobility Management? And if you see at the top there, (43217438). I'll see when a majority of people are signed on.
No, he wasn't.
You got it?
Okay. Matt.
Okay. Matt, are you in?
All right. If everybody could mute, that would be great. All right. So the code is right up here. Go to Menti, it's right up here, MENTI.com, and then the code 43217438. You can do it on your phone or on your computer. And you can join in at any time. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, there we go. So what are you drinking at the moment? It looks like majority of people are drinking coffee. We have water. We have a couple of people drinking nothing like myself, but coffee seems to be the winner. This is just a way for us to get used to using the system. So I like to ask this question. I'm glad nobody's saying something else. So it means everybody's sober right now, which is really good. So most people on today are drinking coffee. As I said, you can join anytime by going to menti.com, and then the code is right here at the top. Okay, the next question. Let's go to the next one. What type of organization do you represent? Is it a nonprofit, a business, county, city, general public, or other? Just want to get a feel for the audience that's here today. Looks like a majority of people are here from a nonprofit. We do have a couple of people representing businesses. We have some people representing the county and some people that are other. So that's good to hear. Okay, what's next? How many employees are at your organization? Just want to understand what is the size of your organization. So 100 to 500 right now seems to be the winner, followed by 0 to 20. Okay. Okay, that's good. Next question. Do you know how most people are getting to work? Are they driving alone, carpooling, van pooling, walk, bike, or you're not sure? Okay, most people are driving, that they believe most people are driving alone. So this should be a really good, interesting presentation today, especially hearing from Kate at NOACA about the Gohio commute. So especially with the rising gas prices, driving alone may soon become a challenge. Okay, so next question. What ideas or incentives are you considering for your workforce in the face of rising gas prices? Are there anything or any ideas that you're hearing about, that you're considering? This has been a question I've seen on Facebook. Are people looking at condensed work weeks, more work from home, or maybe doing nothing, telecommute? And the bigger the word comes up, that means that's what people are starting to consider and incorporate into their workforce policies with the rising gas prices. So hybrid schedule, carpooling. Carpool seems to be one of the ones that is coming up, which once again, I think both the presentations today are going to be very ideal for learning more about. So work from home and carpooling, telework seem to be the areas that are going to be that companies are looking at. Subsidized transit passes. Okay. Mileage reimbursement. Okay, good to know. Is there an improvement regarding transportation that you would like to see happen by the end of 2023? I don't know if it's more carpooling, if it's van pooling. I know it's lower gas prices people would like to see. But are there, anything else? If you know of people riding transit, does it have to do with maybe increased technology? Anything that comes to mind? More walking, biking? Is it more alternative transportation that you would like to see? This just really helps us understand maybe what direction we should go in. Free bike program, more buses, transit, ease of use, more assistance with gas, van pooling, cheaper transit fare. Okay. It's good information. More buses. Accessible public transportation, resources. Bus bike combo. Okay. This is all really county support. Good information. We'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Where are your employees traveling fun? You know, you can pick all that and apply. Just like to get an idea of where people are coming from and maybe where they're going to, because the next question is going to be, where is your organization located? So we do have some that are coming from Cuyahoga County, southern part of Lorain County, Oberlin. So basically really all over. We're not really southern part of Lorain County, Lorain, Oberlin, Cuyahoga County, Elyria. This is really interesting. I was assuming that maybe Lorain, Elyria is where we're going to get most, but it's very interesting to see that we have a large percentage of people saying that they have people coming from the southern part of Lorain County. So that's something that we really need to take in consideration regarding transportation. What city is your organization located in? Are you in Avon, Avon Lake, Cuyahoga, Oberlin, Lorain? We just want to understand, maybe get an idea of the travel patterns here. Lorain, Elyria, Oberlin, other. Okay, so large part in Lorain and Elyria and Oberlin. Okay, good to know. So I think this is the last one. Are there transportation topics that you would like to learn about in the future? I like to get presenters for these meetings. And so if there are topics that you're interested in, we would like to add those. You know, is it more information about Lorain County Transit and how it, you know, the uses, where the routes are? Is it possibly more information about alternative methods of transportation? Is it about bike programs? You know, anything like that, anything having to do with workforce or green transportation, bike programs, dial-a-ride, land use, paratransit, joint city collaboration, senior transportation, more Lorain County Transit info. Okay. Bike, electric charging, that's good, good one. Subsidized transportation, alternative methods, bus and van, work routes, availability. All right, this is really, really good information. I'm going to stop sharing this screen. That information is going to be available. I can share that the results of that, what we just reviewed with everyone in the future. Let me go back to my screen. So if you're interested in the results and seeing those and having those, I can share that with you. So next, what we would like to do is hear a presentation first from Kate Moening from NOACA. We lovingly call NOACA, which is the Northeast Ohio Area Coordinating Agency. They are a metropolitan planning organization. They cover 5 counties, and Lorain County is part of that area. So I'm going to stop sharing so that Kate can share her screen. You're on mute, Kate.
Muted. Oh, I must have hit it twice. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me now? Sound like a commercial. I hope you can see my screen. Everything's good? Okay. Thank you for that warm welcome, Sharon, and thank you for inviting me to talk about Gohio Commute. I wanted to I'm going to video myself just so that we make sure that everything can be seen correctly. And I just wanted to thank you for inviting me to talk about Gohio Commute. Gohio Commute is, and my name, by the way, is Kate Moening. I'm the Air Quality Outreach and Education Planner at NOACA. My contact information is on this slide. I'll also put it in the chat after this presentation in case you want to reach out to me about anything regarding Gohio Commute or the other programs that I'm going to be talking about today. Just to let you know, Gohio Commute is a statewide platform, and it's sponsored by the Ohio Department or the Ohio Association of Regional Councils, otherwise known as OARC, with the mission to reduce single occupancy vehicle travel. So basically drive alone commutes through a free ride matching service to the public, while also promoting these ride share and transportation demand management strategies, such as walking, biking, transit, and carpooling to not only the public, but also to our business and organizational communities. We support this program throughout the 5-county footprint region that we serve, which is Cuyahoga, Geauga, Lake Lorain, and Medina counties. We provide promotional, platform management, and we feel this program is especially timely right now and impactful with gas prices rising. And it also is an air quality program. So there's a lot of interest in this program when it comes to improving Northeast Ohio's air quality. Where people are looking for ways to save money, but we're also looking, as we reported in the Air Quality Trends Report on our NOACA's Air Quality Trends Report, that transportation is the primary driver of Northeast Ohio air quality issues, particularly ozone and particulate matter. On-road vehicles generate over almost 32% of these criteria pollutants that affect our air quality, and is the largest share of these pollutant emissions that are affecting our outside breathable air on a daily basis. The vision of this program is to create a culture across the state of Ohio that inspires people to save money, conserve energy, and help better the environment. The program is built on the need for efficient transportation that's flexible, reliable, and simple to use, that it creates community connections, and also educate about transportation choices and benefits, including saving money, and then building a safe and equitable transportation system around that. And then finally, you know, air quality and transportation choice affects our health and environment. There are benefits to these non-drive alone transportation options, including the increased physical activity as well as decreasing pollution. To let you know, the Gohio Commute platform is a free online service that combines trip planning and ride matching features into one tool that incentivizes these smarter commutes, these alternative commutes to just driving alone to and from places. The platform itself is a one-stop, shop trip planner, getting you from point A to point B. It's got visual representations as well as printouts that are available, or directionals that are available, with these multimodal options addressed as well. So interactive maps that show these routes include finding carpool matches, van pool matches, and bike pool matches. And then challenges and awards are offered regionally by NOACA and our partners that promote and incentivize the program to the public, as well as assisting employers with this promotion and participation. And businesses can do their own challenges as well, which we will talk about in just a minute. Another program that we are just rolling out, it's kind of hot off the press, is NOACA's van pool program. This is being offered through a contract with Commute with Enterprise. Businesses that take advantage of the program can receive the tracking and management support through Gohio Commute platform and can utilize all of the promotional and communication and management benefits of Gohio Commute. So you can reach out to us at any time to explore that option, or reach out to Commute with Enterprise as well. And there is, if you know, going through NOACA, there is an application. There can a subsidy credit that can be applied as well for a period of time. So keep that in mind if you're considering van pool as well. So why try Gohio Commute? Why get people involved in Gohio Commute or in engaging with this platform? We want commute people to feel that they are provided alternative choices to that drive alone commute. And sometimes it's just hard to find those alternative choices. We want to reduce the amount of drive alone trips. And frankly, driving to and from work, our work commutes, are a regular commuting option that if we can share or find different ways to get to and from those locations, that can benefit not only our pocketbooks by saving money, but it helps reduce traffic congestion. It can help lower commuter stress through not having to drive in congestion. There's less parking demand on the destination end of these trips, and it helps improve public health by providing and maintaining cleaner outdoor air. There's also some connection to employers through subsites that can be created within the platform. Gohio Commute's secure and dedicated platform can provide subsites for employers, including colleges, universities, government agencies, organizations that have employees, to enable those employees or students to find each other in order to share commutes. So the platform itself allows you to track your organizational progress along these lines. It lets you customize incentives like challenges or other types of incentives to maybe facilitate health and wellness policies or provide safe and smart commuting options for meeting transportation goals. Hosting internal challenges can help foster that friendly competition and sense of community, but it also helps you engage with your employees no matter where they work throughout the community through the platform. So it can be both a win for the organization and a win for employees by saving money and helping keep our air clean. There's even a couple of apps that can be used to track your day-to-day trips on your mobile phone. Commute Tracker is the Ride Amigos app that is used directly with Gohio Commute throughout the state. And then Strava also is compatible with Gohio Commute. So both of those options are available for people who want to record their trips and participate in the incentives or other things that are offered through Gohio Commute. So just to give you a little brief, I guess, look at the front end of the Gohio Commute platform, I'm going to pull up a live version of the website. And I hope you guys can still see that. Sharon, is that still looking good?
We see your presentation still.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so you'll have to stop sharing and then reshare.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Didn't know. See, I learned something new every day. All right. I'm going to share this. Oh, wait, no, I want to share this screen now. Okay. So this is what the Gohio Commute platform looks like on the website. I hope you guys can see the screen. I'm going to continue to walk through it. it's really, you can use it whether or not you register, but we do highly recommend people register for on the platform in order to take advantage of incentives, challenges, and sub-site tracking and connections with people within your sub-site, within your business or organization. So registering is very easy. What you do need is a name and an email address. You will walk through when you're signing up a number of questions related to your home location, your work location, your employer, and then the commute you generally take to and from work and what you are interested in learning more about, whether it's carpooling, van pooling, bike pooling, or something else. So, walking through that sign up is really easy to get started. There's always, you can actually put in locations into the start, like let's say we're starting from Elyria, like, okay, let's go with Elyria City Hall or, City School District here. We'll go from the Elyria City School District to Lorain Community College. Let's say we've got some kids going to the community college from the school district, and you can see a number of different, once it loads here, even though I am not logged in, you're still going to see these locations, and you can actually click on some overlays here, such as traffic conditions, where EV charging stations are, if that's of interest, if there are Go Bus locations, or park and ride lots. So you can see here that these pop up when you turn these layers on and off. You're also going to see different filters for both carpool opportunities and van pool opportunities, transit opportunities, walking, biking, and driving to and from those locations. And carpooling is also broken up into people who have indicated they would be drivers versus riders. So, and those folks are going to show up on this map as the people icons. And so you can get an idea of where those folks are at. And as an organization with a sub-site, these maps are tailored to just your employees as well. So people within your organization can find each other. And it's a really great onboarding tool to help people learn about the community a little bit more and the people that are working there as well. So this is just an example of what someone would see if they were just searching for some assistance to get to and from places using the tool. There's also a page for events, which are the events that NOACA holds. I'll talk about in a little bit. There are regional events that we hold called challenges. And then there's also a Commuter Choice Award program that is associated with Gohio Commute. The login and registration kind of work together. There's always an area for contacting us. If you have a question, it will come directly to us and we will be able to answer it in a timely manner. There's also some FAQs, and this is really helpful. A lot of this is populated by Ride Amigos since this platform is maintained by them. But you can learn more about how to log trips, planning trips, sharing your ride. There are tips and definitions of different types of carpooling versus van pooling versus bike pooling, and having suggestions on how to protect privacy, but also be able to share enough information that you can find the people that you want to share rides with. So that's just a brief tutorial of the platform itself. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and then reshare my slides. Here we go. I hope you can see the slides now. And just a few more things about the platform that are a benefit to both the employer and the employees, or for anyone who's using the platform, is that there is a guaranteed ride home program that is built into Gohio Commute Services. NOACA will reimburse up to 80% of transport fare, whether it's bus ticket, Uber, Lyft, or taxi, that you might need if you need a trip home, if you are carpooling, van pooling, or bike pooling, and you register or log those trips into the Gohio Commute platform. You can use guaranteed ride home at up to 4 times a year. So if you need an emergency ride home for some reason, that can be worked into your promotion for like a sub-site or to employers and employees that are using the service. And you can learn more about that on our website as well, or I can follow up with you about any other information you might want about that. There's also another benefit that is this platform is an easy way for people to track their trips and really identify the benefits of their alternate commutes, including like the distances they take, the number of trips they have, the number of trips that are logged, but also that like carbon dioxide savings, money savings, and calories that are even burned if you're using an active transportation method. All that's automatically tracked in the user statistics. And then we keep you in the loop also as an employer or an organization through reporting and other communication that provides opportunities to engage and educate and promote your program with your employees and with the community and the public at large. So there's some statistics and reporting benefits to the program. NOACA and our partners also provide challenges at least twice a year. We just finished up our May carbon-free challenge, where we and our partners are incentivizing using the platform and logging these trips in order to get people more engaged with the platform, but also just to, have some camaraderie and get people interested in using it on a day-to-day basis. Our next challenge will be coming up in October. This is our last year's logo, but we hope that the platform, that these challenges help employers offer motivation and education and incentives to the people that are working or they're promoting this to. And we also provide, NOACA sends out Gohio Commute newsletters and communications to both users and sub-site managers that have other interesting facts about air quality, mode shift, and then upcoming events that might be happening that are related to either Gohio Commute, our partners, or mode shift opportunities in the community. The last thing we have, I wanted to just mention is our Commuter Choice Awards program. This year's will be our 9th annual award program. It is hosted by NOACA and a number of partners throughout our region. The purpose is to promote employer implementation of these transportation demand management or mode shift practices, policies, and programs that will encourage employees to commute to and from work in ways other than driving alone. So it's an annual awards program. It actually just opened this week. We offer gold, silver, and bronze awards. And there's a ceremony in the fall that helps, that generates interest and recognizes all the employers who participated in this Commuter Choice Award. So there's a number of things that there's 3 different areas that participants are ranked on: employer support, the location of your facility, and then commuter behavior, which is based on the participation in a Commuter Choice Challenge that we hold in August just for Commuter Choice Award participants. So that was my presentation. I'm hoping I stayed on time. Does anyone have any questions, or Sharon, is there anything in the chat that I can address? at the moment, or I can also share more information with people offline or after this presentation if you email me or call me at that number.
Yeah, we can take a couple of questions right now. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this? You can put it in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand using the reactions below. Or just unmute yourself and ask.
Excuse me.
We haven't had a lot of companies in Lorain County taking advantage of this. We have a couple that have been signed up, but not registered for this. And so we're working on that. I know we have at least one company that's going to start possibly participating. Shaniqua, you have a question? Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, I was just going to ask if the PowerPoint was available also, so I can have some of the information she was talking about on the PowerPoint.
Yeah, Kate, can you share this with me and I can send it out to everybody who's on the call?
And thank you.
Okay, thank you. I know, and I know that this is being recorded too, so I can also, you know, I mean, it will also be available in the recording.
Yes. Any other questions?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm going to stick around and listen in if you don't mind.
Yes, no problem. Oh, there is a question from Bill. How many weekly users does the program currently have in Lorain County? I don't think, I know that there's a couple of places signed up. I know Lorain County Community College is signed up. I know United Way is signed up. We just haven't really promoted it yet, but this is something that we're definitely going to be looking into.
Well, we have, I'm not exact, I can ask that question and get back with you on weekly users in Lorain County. Our platform manager, Tim Kovach, is an expert on getting all that data. And he is also available, as am I, to do a refresher course, for example, on utilizing the services and the tools that are provided within the platform. And I can help with promotion in assisting with communication with your employees, or walking through some of the communication tools that are in the back end as a manager or a sub-site tool utilization. So I'm available to do that as well. I'll put my contact information in the chat too. I did see another a question above that. Is there a part of the program that identifies bike carrying vehicles? I do not know for sure, but I would probably say no. Simply because that is more of a service that's provided by a transit organization, for example, on their buses. And we're really more identifying the option there, not the actual mechanisms that are being used. But you know, that's a great question, and I can bring that up to OARC and see if anyone else has interest in that. Thanks, Chris, for that question.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Kate.
All right. I'm stopping sharing.
All right. So next we're going to go to EndenRed, and we have Domenick, who is here, who is going to do a presentation on commuter benefits. And if those of you who attended the MOVE event on May 19th, we talked about this federal qualified transportation benefit that allows up to $280 per month to be set aside from a person's paycheck, similar to how health insurance works, to be spent on formalized transportation services tax-free, which actually ends up being a savings for people. And so we're going to hear a little bit more about that from Domenick. So Domenick, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Terrific. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Can everyone see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet? Oh, okay. How about now?
Nope, not
No?
yet.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. share.
Okay. And we're seeing, yeah, it's not in presentation mode, but we can see it.
Okay, hold on. I want to get it there. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's better. Okay,
Yep.
great. Okay. Thanks, Sharon. Okay. So my name is Domenick Lobasso. I'm a regional sales manager here at EndenRed Benefits, and I'm accompanied by my colleague, Matthew Mavroidis. So thanks for making some time today to fit us into the schedule. So I'll talk a little bit about who we are, and then how we might fit into the overall transportation picture. So EndenRed Group is a parent company, is our parent company, headquartered in Paris, France. So we're a global payments platform services company. We have over 850,000 clients. We have over 10,000 employees, and we operate in over 46 countries. And our primary focus is commuter benefits, but we also offer other benefits like meal perks, anytime pay, which is an early wage access program, and we also offer lifestyle spending accounts. So here in the US, we're known as EndenRed Benefits. We started out in 1985, and we have more than 10,000 clients, and we can offer a solution really for any size client. We take our customer service obligation very seriously. We enjoy a net promoter score of 77, which means most of our clients would refer us to another colleague or client to do business with. Some of our logos include Amazon, Spotify, the City of New York, and so on. Okay, so let's focus in on commuter benefits. So commuter benefits, again, is our primary business. We are experts in this field. We take pride in being one of the largest independent providers in the US of pre-tax commuter benefits. We have a passion for customers' culture to constantly improve our service. Our customer service and fulfillment centers are located in-house in Waltham, Massachusetts. That's our headquarters. We're 100% compliant with Section 132F tax laws. So that's the pre-tax commuter benefit laws that govern the US for pre-tax commuter benefits. Always looking for new ways to improve and give our participants more choices. And recently we've released, in the last, let's say, year and a half or so, micro-mobility options in addition to our traditional pre-tax commuter benefit programs. So the IRS Section 132F tax law was created to create tax advantages for both the employee and the employer. On average, employees can save about 30% on their commute, and employers save on their FICA payroll tax, which is about it's exactly 7.65%. So it's also good for the environment. It reduces our carbon footprint per employee by up to 20 pounds per day and 4,800 pounds per year, jumping, let's say, out of a car and into public transit. We have partnerships with many transit agencies, many parking garages, and many bike shops around the country. And we actually administer the commuter benefits for some of the big transit agencies around the country, like the one in Chicago, the DVRPC in Philadelphia, and the MBTA in Boston. So our commuter benefit program includes transit, parking, and van pool. And so currently the IRS pre-tax limit is $280 per month for transit and an additional $280 per month for parking. So this means that an employer can deduct that out of the employee's paycheck to pay for their commute to and from work for public transit. Any amount enrolled over that $280, let's say the expense is higher than that, it would simply be regarded as a post-tax deduction and reported as such out of their paycheck. And because we can do direct fulfillment of transit passes, we can offer any major transit pass in the US. This would include even the Red Line Rail in Cleveland, the Metro, the SORTA pass in Cincinnati, and so on. And so one of the things that our clients like about us is our employee portal. It's intuitive, it's easy to use, it can be accessed from a desktop, tablet, mobile device, and it's ADA compliant. Our mobile app gives participants the ability to access their accounts on the go. It does accommodate facial and thumb recognition, and participants can access all functionality on the mobile app that exists on the desktop. So more recently, the IRS changed the tax law, allowing participants to utilize transit and parking funds on their debit cards interchangeably. So, and this might have been as a result of the pandemic, when many employees had leftover balances on their transit wallet on their debit cards, since public transit, was barely being used, and many were driving to work and needing to pay for parking. So, we now have the ability to use transit balances for parking and vice versa, parking funds for transit purposes, as opposed to in the past, those balances would just sit there if the employee's mode of transportation changed. It would sort of be kind of wasted or just sitting there. So this is a big plus. So micromobility. Basically, this really complements and enhances the commuter benefits solution by giving the employee more choices, right? So we started working on some safer commuting alternatives. And so some of these options are perhaps primarily used for the first and last mile of the commute, but they can also be used for the entire commute. If you live in a city where your job and you live 25 blocks from where you work, you might take a scooter there as opposed to getting on a bus or a train. So in addition to traditional pre-tax benefits like trains, subways, and buses, we've added choices like bikes, e-scooters, private Lyft rides, corporate shuttles, as well as other partnerships that we have. And also note that Uber Pool and Lyft shared rides are considered pre-tax because they fall under the van pool category, right? All right, so we've been working with micromobility partners like Lime, Spin, Revel, which enables us to offer these e-bikes, e-scooters, and so on in many cities around the country. We've partnered with a company called Ride Panda. This is a micromobility partner and provider that operates in Ohio and operates in many areas around the country. We've also partnered with City Bike in New York City and San Francisco. Lyft is a provider that actually owns a lot of these e-scooters and e-bikes under a different name, including City Bike in New York City is actually owned by Lyft. So what else? Yeah, so the corporate shuttle bus is another option. We partner with a company called BusUp. So this is another option where organizations can share a shuttle if they happen to be located in close proximity to each other. So really the idea here is that the participant is getting all these choices, right? Traditional pre-tax benefits and the micromobility choices all on one ordering platform. And because these micromobility choices are considered post-tax, here at EndenRed, we automatically manage and calculate which deductions are pre-tax, which are post-tax on behalf of the employer, so that it could be reflected in the payroll deduction file, which we send the provider, we send the client each month. Here, our partner catalog, we have discounts on all these variety of micromobility choices. Could be 10% and anywhere from let's say 10% to 20%. So that's one advantage. Another advantage of ordering through our system. Implementation is fairly simple and straightforward. It does take about 60 days. And again, the reason why there's an implementation is because in this paradigm, we would contract with the employer, and then the employer would offer these pre-tax commuter benefits or post-tax, could be just micromobility, to their employees. So this wouldn't be a direct, let's say, engagement with employees, but rather with employers. I'm happy to take any questions. That's really this.
All right. Well, thank you, Dominique.
Sure.
Are there questions from people? If you could raise your hand or put it in the chat. I'm sure this was a topic of interest at the MOVE meeting regarding this benefit. So I'm sure there may be some questions about this program for Dominique.
Any takers out there?
Well, I do have a question, Dominique.
Sure.
Is EndenRed, will they partner with more local transportation companies besides the ones that you show here? For instance, we have a workforce transportation pilot with Togus and Avient right now that we're operating. And it's run through a pilot, but and nobody, the employer nor the employee is paying for it because we're trying to work through the kinks. But eventually we want to, use the commuter benefits. Are you willing to work with these local companies and transportation projects?
Sure. I think we would be. We actually have a partnerships person that focuses, strictly on these relationships. So we can certainly put them in touch with our key person that manages that. This is the same person that's created the partnerships with all these different companies like Revel, Lyft, and all these micromobility partners. So certainly we can certainly try, and if it makes sense, then we would certainly do it.
And I guess I'm really curious about the micro mobility portion that you talked about, because I know that prior to 2017, bikes used to be included under the commuter benefits at, I think, $20 a month, but then that was removed when they redid the whole corporate tax laws. So explain to me again how, like adding scooters or bicycling, how that works under the commuter benefits or under your program.
Sure. So you're absolutely right, Sharon. Bikes were biking to work was removed, and you're right. It was a $20 stipend from it wasn't a pre-tax deduction, but rather it was a subsidy that was provided by the employer. They were basically, providing $20 as an incentive to bike to work if you could. But yeah, that stopped. So what happens now is employers can still take advantage of that as a green initiative. So they can still offer bike, and it just would be simply a post-tax type of thing. Or if they want to give that stipend, it would be taxable and it would be, added to their, paycheck. They would pay the tax on the paycheck because it's no longer, there's no, their benefit as far as taxability, no tax advantage to it. So that would fall under the same realm. A bike would fall into the same realm as, let's say, an e-scooter and an e-bike and an individual Lyft ride, for example. So, but the idea is to create convenience for the employee that perhaps they can just go to one portal, and it could be that maybe they only order a micromobility type of enrollment for the coming month to commute, or it could be a combination. It could be that they can take the bus, let's say, to a certain point, and then they might be able to grab a micromobility vehicle for the rest of the way and then park when they get to, maybe they pick up a city bike, for example, when they get to Manhattan, just to use that as an example, and ride to work, and then they would, they would just park it at another stand when they get to the office. So those are post-tax deductions. So there is no tax advantage, to answer your question. But again, the big benefit is that it enables employers to provide sort of like a one-stop shop as far as commuting, as far as, if you happen to live in an area where there's good, strong public transit, great. If not, maybe micromobility would be the answer in many cases. So yeah, but that's a good point, Sharon. You're right. That there's no tax advantage, but it's done to create convenience where it works, where it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. I was trying to get my head wrapped around that because I knew there used to be an incentive for biking, and now there isn't, and how that worked with your program. But what makes sense is that it allows the employers to provide something as a one-stop shop that makes it easier for their employees to be able to get to work, especially if they can't take just one mode of transportation to get there. So that's really interesting.
Exactly.
So anybody else have any questions? And Domenick, I was wondering if you could did you put your information in the chat box already? So people need to get in touch with you, or if you could put it in there again.
Sure, I'll do that.
Because I'm sure there are probably maybe people who have questions
Sure.
that maybe they want to talk with you one-on-one because they have individual specific needs.
Absolutely, I'll do that.
But meanwhile, any other questions for Domenick? Okay. If not, Domenick and Kate, you're welcome to stay on. I'm just going to go through my brief presentation so we can make sure to get out of here by 11. Let's see here. Okay. So once again, thank you, Domenick, for your presentation.
Thank you for having us. We enjoyed it.
And I'm just trying to get my screen back up. Here it is. Okay. All right. So we do have some people who are new for the first time here. So I just want to explain about what mobility management is all about, so we're all on the same page. And this is how the Federal Transportation Administration defines mobility management here, which is mobility management is an innovative approach for managing and delivering coordinated transportation services to customers, including older adults, people with disabilities, and individuals with lower incomes. Also workforce, that's not mentioned here specifically, but there is a focus on that too. Mobility management focuses on meeting individual customer needs through a wide range of transportation options and services. It also focuses on coordinating these services and provider achieving a more efficient transportation service delivery system. So that's what mobility management is about. That's directly from the Federal Transportation Administration. So I'm a mobility manager. You can see up here in the 10A region. And this is a map. This is not the latest map. Unfortunately, this map, it keeps on changing, but we cover about 2/3 of the state of Ohio mobility managers. A lot of them, a majority of the ones that you see here cover a lot of very rural areas where it's really a struggle to find transportation. And so, so this is your federal tax dollars at work right here, really trying to make transportation more efficient throughout the state of Ohio. I work very closely with Tim Bergerman, who covers Erie, Huron, Seneca, Ottawa, Sandusky Wood, and also Jan Conrad. Even though it shows that she's in Wayne County, she does some work also in Medina and I believe Summit or Stark as well. And I work very closely also with Sarah, who is the mobility manager at NOACA, who's a colleague with Kate that you heard from earlier today. We are starting to do that because even though I'm the mobility manager here in Lorain County, we have out of our 310,000 people that exist in Lorain County, about 50,000 of them are commuting into Cleveland every day. So transportation doesn't stay just in their counties. There are travel patterns that happen. And so that's why it's very important for me or other mobility managers to have a communication with the fellow mobility managers in the neighboring counties as well. And so I know, like I said, Tim and Jan and I we talk probably weekly. In fact, I'm very proud to say that I've helped to mentor both Tim and Jan as well. And so we've developed a really close relationship and are always sharing all kinds of knowledge. So just a little bit more about the mobility management program. As I stated, it's funded through the Federal Transportation Administration under a program called 5310. The position is commissioned by a 5-year coordinated transportation plan that was developed in 2018. There was a grant that was submitted in 2019 by Move Lorain County, which is a grassroots transportation advocacy committee, and United Way of Greater Lorain County. The program, once we received the funds, were allowed for this position to be housed at United Way of Greater Lorain County since January 2020. At this time, right now, the position must be renewed every year, but we just recently found out that ODOT is going to go to renewing every 2 years, which is going to make it a little bit easier. Because as soon as the year starts, the new year starts, when we get our funding, usually in January, it's time to renew for the following year, and you haven't even started the year. So it's going to make planning everything a little bit easier, and because going through the grant processes can be somewhat burdensome. So going to every 2 years is going to be great. So that's not going to start until next year. Why is transportation important? Well, the American Public Transportation Association states that every dollar invested in public transportation generates $5 in economic activity. And maybe I'm biased, but I can see where the pilot project that we're doing with Togus and Avient has really shown that to be true. We're able to get people who might not have otherwise been able to work and support these businesses in Lorain County by helping these businesses and helping get people back to work. And so we can see that that is starting to happen, and we are really hoping to be able to grow that program once we can get through some of the kinks in that program. So I want to go over some of the goals so that you're aware of what, so you've heard about the mobility management program, but what have you been doing? So last year, and actually every year, we have to take a look at the goals that we created in 2018 to determine whether they're still needed or if they need to be revised. So we had 5 goals, and I'm going to just briefly really go through that and show you what we've been doing today. So our goal number 1 was to increase the awareness of available transportation services through grassroots methods. Last year, the coordinated planning group added that we want to do this through targeted groups and organizations. So what have we been doing? Well, we branded the Lorain County Mobility Management Program. I am going to be starting to do monthly ride-alongs on Lorain County Transit, and we talk with riders, and we get people who don't normally ride Lorain County Transit or transit to ride along and really experience what it feels like to ride on public transit. We've been using the transportation survey that we do on an annual basis to find out what social media are people using so we can help increase the awareness of transportation here in Lorain County. We've created a transportation guide, which we do have limited amounts available right now. We're in the midst of updating that. And we have a list on the Move Lorain County website of transportation providers. We're finding that half the people that we're serving a lot of times don't even know what exists. They think that there's no transportation in Lorain County. It does exist, but that's why it's very important for us to make people aware of what's available. We're working with United Way, Lorain County Mobility Management. Move Lorain County is working with Lorain County Transit on serving the community. They're passing these surveys out on buses and elsewhere. We're going to events and letting people know about the routes. One of the biggest comments I get from people when I'm at these events is I see the buses, but I have no idea where they're going. Well, we're making people aware of that through the transportation guides, which include Lorain County Transit routes. And then we were asked to begin to showcase positive stories about people using these alternative methods of transportation. And Aaron from Togus really showcased that at the Move Lorain County event with some of the comments about people who have some positive stories like saving money on gas because they're using the workforce transportation, or somebody's car broke down and they would not have been able to get to work otherwise. So we've been doing that through the workforce transportation pilot, but we also need to start doing that by talking of the riders on the bus and what it means to them and getting that word out. Also, we were asked to begin to develop these relationships with grocery stores, pharmacies, government agencies, healthcare, and transportation providers all working together so that we can really, really improve transportation in Lorain County. Our second goal was developing the mobility management program. The mobility management program, as I stated before, was brand new in Lorain County. And so we had to develop it. The committee felt that basically this goal has been completed. But there was a section of it that they felt we need to maintain, which was continuing to foster those relationships, improve communication between public and policymakers, coordinate with nonprofits and transportation providers, employers, and continue to explore funding to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of transportation in Lorain County. And so those are the things that are the basis of everything that we do. Because goal number 2 was removed, this is the new goal number 2, which is exploring data and collection and planning synergies. So we want to look for those natural planning synergies. That's what we are continuing to do, collecting data on where are people going to and from. And that's why during the Menti, I was asking those questions. Where are your employees living and where do you exist? To understand where is it that we need to begin to focus. And where I'm really seeing is, I didn't realize that so many people had people in the southern part of Lorain County. We really haven't had a presence there. So we need to really take a look at how can we reach out to that group and begin to help them with maybe some of their community needs. We need to identify duplication of services and how can we work together to eliminate them. Some of the aspects that the committee has suggested that we add is using technology. And we're doing that through the Share Mobility program with the workforce transportation. But also some of the transit agencies around us now are going to an app now where you can buy your tickets and other services sometimes, including Lyft and Uber, on one app. Using a program called Easy Fare. I know that Sandusky and Cleveland is about to launch Easy Fare here pretty soon. And here, Lorain County, smack dab in the middle, we can be a part of that. So that's something that we're working with Lorain County Transit on identifying. Also, once again, that partnership and collaboration with government bodies to work together to make these improvements. I know at the city of Lorain, transportation is in their comprehensive plan. It's something that's really important. It's one of their top 10. So we need to really work with them because maybe they, this is all I think about all day long is transportation. So that's where I can be of assistance working with organizations like City of Oberlin, City of Elyria, Avon, like all these cities and these government agencies, letting them know about what we're doing under the mobility management program and how we can work together. New goal number 3 is coordinating educational training programs, helping people understand how to utilize these transportation options we have. It's been very interesting as I've been doing these ride-alongs on Lorain County Transit. People who use a car every day have no idea what it's like to use Lorain County Transit, and they've really come to appreciate what people who rely on Lorain County Transit and some of these other transportation services have to do every day. I was asked to create shareable media posts, and those shareable media posts are available in the monthly newsletter that goes out every time that anybody and everybody can share to help educate people on how to use all these services. What we were also asked to do is provide maybe some virtual travel training, especially because of the pandemic right now, maybe through video training, even setting up specific groups to teach them how to use the transit, such as Lorain County Community College, Lorain Metropolitan Housing Authority, or other groups. I am happy to say that I haven't been able to do this yet. The pandemic kind of slowed us down. But I am going to a travel training conference in Cleveland this year, and we'll have a chance to really talk with people who work on this day in, day out, and learn from them, and hopefully share some of this information, and maybe we can really work on this together. I'm also part of a Northeast Ohio travel training committee, and there's a lot of people already doing this work, and all we need to do is kind of work with them and reshare it. So we are doing that slightly, but we need to do a little bit more of that. Our other goal is, which is one of the ones that's taking up a lot more time than I expected, but it's one that I enjoy, which is exploring transportation pilot projects. The Workforce Transportation Pilot Project is one that's very important. There's a lot of people interested in it. We really want to grow it. As I said, just providing transportation is not the answer. There's a lot more work to it, and that's what we're learning. But we need to share our experiences once again and collaborate with our government agencies so that they know what we're doing and so that we can all work together. This goal is a new one. This is one that the committee thought was very important, to secure resources, to upgrade infrastructure, and to make public transit more user-friendly. As people have started to utilize Lorain County Transit, and as you compare it to maybe some of the services around it, we are finding that it's a little bit lacking. We want to provide technology so that it's easier for those who are banked and unbanked to be able to use these services. A lot of people are used to using Lyft and Uber, using their phones in order to get where they need to go. We can't do that yet here in Lorain County, but we are working with Lorain County Transit to make that happen. There are a lot of people who've ridden Lorain County Transit with me. They don't have the $2 cash. I mean, when I told them that they had to come down with $2 cash, they had to go actually make that happen because people don't carry cash. And we're finding through the transportation survey that people want to use credit card or refillable card to make it easier for them. We want to add services that just makes the rider experiences easier, pull cords, signage, and other best practices from our neighboring transit systems. You know, what can we do to really respect the rider who maybe relies on transit every day? And we want to continue to look at funding. Right now, transit is being funded at an unprecedented level, and we need to really tap into those funding sources to really make improvements so we can really respect the people who have to rely on transit every day. So those are the goals that we're looking at, and just want to look at some of so there is a question, and Pam, I don't know if you can answer this question, but I see Shaniqua asks, are the yellow tickets good for one way on Lorain County Transit? And Pam, are you on the call still?
I'm here.
There was a question asked, are the yellow tickets good for one way on Lorain County Transit? Can you answer that?
Yes, the yellow tickets, which is actually for the half fare. The half fare is for senior citizens, 65 and over, or a person with a disability. And with those, they would just have to show proof of whether it's a state ID with their date of birth or Medicare card, Social Security, disability award letter. They can show any of those proofs, and a yellow ticket would be yes for a one-way trip.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I only asked because those are the tickets they gave us to give to, because we serve the homeless population and we give them bus tickets so they can get to appointments and stuff. And those are the ones they gave us to use. And I was wondering if we had the wrong tickets. So she was talking about transportation and helping people get where they need to be. I'm like, yeah, we try, but then that made me think, are we giving them the proper tickets to get to where they need to be?
Yeah, well, Shanika, what I can do is let me give you Pam's information, or Pam, if you could put your contact information in the chat box. So if anybody has a specific question about Lorain County Transit, please contact Pam. That would be
Yes,
awesome.
I can do that.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
So I just went over the goals. If anybody's interested in really working with me, I do have a group that I'm going to be organizing together this fall. Just want to give you a calendar of events. We have the transportation survey, which really helped drive the goals for that we put together. The transportation survey is due by July 1st of this year. We're going to be putting in the paper survey information and analyzing the results in July and August. At the September 13th Transportation Advisory Committee, I will be revealing the results of the survey and asking for just input, and then putting together the Coordinated Transportation Planning Committee again this year. At that time, we're going to have we're going to try to have at least 2 meetings to go over the goals to see if they need to be updated. Any of them need to be removed on September 29th and then October 20th. And then at the TAC meeting that I'm going to put together in November 3rd and 4th, I'm going to be sharing the updates from those 2 meetings so that we can get it finalized and sent to ODOT, because the updates need to be sent to ODOT by Thanksgiving. So that is going to be the calendar. If you're interested in participating to help develop these goals, I would love for you to participate. Just reach out to me at any time. So if you're interested also in this information that we presented today, here's how you can get involved. We ask you to like the Lorain County Mobility Management Facebook page and Twitter. You can promote the information from the Move Lorain County website. You can also encourage people to call 211 if they're looking for transportation information. If it's a specific question, a lot of times those will get filtered down to me, and with the resources that we have available, I will do my best to try to work with people. There is a monthly newsletter that goes out where I update people on what's happening on transportation. People can sign up there on the Move website, right on the homepage, is moveloraincounty.org. One of the things I did not mention is that the mobility management program is funded 80% through the Federal Transportation Administration. 20% must be a local match. So we're looking for that 20% local match that can be donated to United Way of Greater Lorain County. So consider donating. I know United Way is going to have some other campaigns coming out as ways for which you can donate to help continue to support this effort. If you truly believe that we're doing a good job and we're making progress, please consider donating. No donation is too small. Once again, just want to remind everybody, we do have the transportation survey. One of the main focal points of that survey is Lorain County Transit route. We're trying to identify what changes need to be made to that. How can we make it better? How can we improve it? There are 3 ways in which people can participate. They can get a link sent to them by texting Transport LC to 41444. They can scan, or they can go directly to the link. This is being posted on Twitter, on Facebook, on the Move Lorain County Facebook page, and on Lorain County Mobility Management Facebook page if you're looking for that information. I also have cards that you can pass out to people as well, and we have paper copies with envelopes that are prepaid that can be sent back to us. And then you can also go to the Move Lorain County website if you want to see the list of transportation options, but we have limited supply of the transportation guides. Updates are coming. By the end of July, I'm hoping to have these updates ready and new transportation guides available for the community. So contact me if you're interested in that. And then I want to let you know tonight, there's a fun event happening in Elyria from 5 to 9. A lot of great activity. Third Thursday, and I'm going to be on the trolley. People love the trolley. Plus, it's going to be hot outside, so you might want to get on the trolley. I'm going to be working with the Lorain County Historical Society. They're going to be giving a history about Elyria, and I'm going to be quizzing people about their knowledge about Lorain County Transit and giving out candy on the bus. So This is the schedule. You'll see a Lorain County Mobility, as you can see here behind the trolley, you'll see this sign that says bus stop Lorain County Mobility Management. That's where the stops are going to be in Elyria. Unplugged Brewery is going to be one of the stops. You can't eat or drink on the trolley, but we will be stopping there, and the trolley will be operating from 5 to 8:30 tonight. So come on out. I will be there every third Thursday in Elyria through August. And now just want to see if there's, that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but would love to hear from any agencies and updates or announcements that need to be made.
Sharon, there's a question in the chat from Ed regarding sharing vehicle resources. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I did not. I see it now. So let me read that. But meanwhile, anybody have any other questions? So we are in the midst, getting to answering Ed's questions about sharing resources. Where we are actively doing that right now is with the workforce transportation. For instance, we have been working with Life Care to provide that for TOGUS. We had a challenge with the second and third shift. We are working with Safe and Reliable to provide second and third shift transportation. Goodwill of Greater Lorain County is now interested in also participating in that. So we're going to start having a conversation with them about that. I'm very excited to see that. And also talking with Lorain County Transit as well about them getting involved. So, and we're working with the Share Mobility software in order to do that, because any organization that has access to a tablet or smartphone can participate with this, because the employees are already utilizing that service, the Share Mobility service. So that's why it's easier for us to just continue to use that service right now. So that is the way in which we are utilizing those resources. But from time to time, I'm getting calls from other organizations, some of our United Way collabs that need assistance with transporting kids different places. And so, yes, we need to continue to utilize these 5310 vehicles that some of these organizations have to really fill in those gaps of transportation throughout Lorain County. So we are working on that, and we are continuing to do that. So Ed, if there is the ability to work, because I know Kendall has a 5310 vehicle, there are opportunities. Also, for those of you who may be having some driver shortage problems, I've been hearing that especially first student drivers, they're laid off right now for the summer, and they're looking for work. That might be an opportunity for some of you with some driver shortages to maybe pick up some of these people, at least during the summer, to help fill in some of your gaps. I can see if I can try to find a way to connect you with first student. But I've had that comment from a couple of people that have told me about that. And I see Chris, you had a question too. Do you want to, can you unmute yourself and you want to ask me that question? Or you want me to just answer one-on-one?
There we go. So in my rounds of talking to employers, particularly in that general area, maybe a few miles from those locations, they've heard about the program, they're excited about it, and they want to know, well, how can we use this also? And it's an exciting opportunity. I know that we're still learning and growing and developing it, and you know, discovering all of the unique qualities that we have to include with it. But would it be helpful to start charting those so that at some point in the future you can say, hey, here's all the folks that have expressed a desire to have this as part of their workplace?
Yes, and Ryan, are you still on too? Ryan is the chair of Move Lorain County that is really spearheading this. I would like to defer to him about if he's still on and available, what you think we should do.
Don't see him on anymore, Sharon.
Oh, okay.
I'd be happy to get it, to contact him afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, share that information with me right now, since he is not on right now. And I will get that over to Move Lorain County and work with them on that, because that is one of the reasons why we are also talking with Lorain County Transit, because there may, I keep on hoping that there may be able to be a route specifically from Lorain and Elyria to that location, because that's where a lot of businesses are, to be able to create a route that people can get on a regular basis over there. But it would be very helpful to know who those businesses are that would be interested. I know a few, but I don't know all of them. And since anybody who has direct contact with those businesses, especially in that area, that would be great. Eventually, we really do want to expand this, but we want to be careful because we don't want to get a whole bunch of people involved and it not work out because we have all these issues. So
Right, yeah, no, I wasn't about to commit anyone to anything, but I think that if, in the future planning, if you had the information of, oh, wow, look at how many folks we do have interested in, I mean, those would still probably boil down a little bit, but it would give you an idea of the potential of the scope.
Yeah, agreed. So any other questions? Any other announcements that anybody have from their organization that they want to let people know about? Well, I hope that the information presented today was very helpful, interesting, that maybe it will really help your organization, whether you're a business or even a nonprofit that has employees, be able to think about alternative methods of transportation and really helping people, be able to get to work in a way that maybe saves them some money. I appreciate our presenters today, Domenick from EndenRed and Kate Moening. I know Kate, but I never say her last name. So sorry about screwing up your last name. And Kate from NOACA, both appreciate your information. If you need to get in touch with them, even Commute with Enterprise. I also am very close with the Commute with Enterprise state of Ohio person. In fact, I'm going to reach out to her today after this meeting. If you need to get in touch with them, let me know. But thank you for joining us. We have recorded this video. I'll be taking both of those sections out, splicing those up. So if you wanted to share it with other people, you'll be able to do that. So thank you very much. If there's no other questions, I hope everybody has a great day, or come down and see me tonight on the trolley in Elyria from 5 to 9. Thanks.